Okay, hello guys. Today's lesson is on identifying cause and effect. Cause and effect is sometimes a hard topic to learn or to teach. I often, if I'm being honest, find myself struggling to teach cause and effect because I can easily identify it as an adult, but I often have a hard time conveying this information to the students. And so I have done a little research and pulled some resources to share with you guys today to help you better understand cause and effect, whether it's a child looking at this video or it's a parent, brushing up on their cause and effect skills to be able to help their child. And so, what is cause and effect? Readers identify cause and effect relationships to understand why something happens. In the literary text, students follow the plot by thinking about what the characters do and why. With informational text, thinking about cause and effect helps students better understand how important ideas are related. And so it's both of them. Really, with informational text is when you are coming and you are trying to see, okay, well, this happened, but why? And, characters is more on their actions and why they did something. But nonfiction is typically like a good way to look at cause and effect is weather. The nonfiction text on weather is very good ways to identify cause and effect. Although cause and effects often stated in text can sometimes appear in confusing patterns. So we know cause and effect is a little bit hard, but we're going to get through it. And by the finish of this video, you'll be able to better understand how to identify cause and effect. Students may have difficulties recognizing cause and effect relationships that are not linked by clue words. So sometimes in passages, they will tell you, like, let me see. Sometimes they will say, I'll use weather, and they will go and they'll give you what the weather is, different things, how like tornadoes and how tornadoes are wind, and how they spin around in circles, and they tell you how things happen, and then they will tell you about what happens when a tornado hits a city or a village and the damage that it does. And that's easy to identify. But oftentimes, especially like in literary texts, when you are looking at the character's actions, you might see that they've done something, but you might not realize what actions led to that. And so you have to pay attention and really infer and use all of your context clues when you're identifying cause and effect. Students may need support in recognizing cause and effect where it has like one cause and multiple effects, or one effect and multiple causes. And so that is, so with cause and effect, you need to constantly be thinking what happened and why did it happen. Those are the two most important questions when doing cause and effect. What happened? And then why did it happen? When thinking about those two questions, the cause is why something happens, and the effect is what happens. So the boy lost a tooth, so the tooth fairy came. So the cause is the boy lost a tooth. That's why the tooth fairy came. The effect is that the tooth fairy came, and we want to know, why did the tooth fairy come? Because the boy lost his tooth. And a lot of times we do cause and then effect, but it's seemingly backwards. And that is most of the confusion that students have or readers have when trying to figure out the cause and the effect. Because the boy lost a tooth, so the tooth fairy came. Well, we said that the cause was the boy lost a tooth. The effect was what happened, the tooth fairy came. But a lot of times when we're talking about stuff, we would say it the other way. We would say the tooth fairy came because the boy lost a tooth. But a lot of times it's a little confusing because it's a little bit backwards, right? So now we're going to take the time to look at some examples. All right, so we're going to do this one first. It's called What Caused It? And so I chose this one first because when I was talking about cause and effect, and I was talking about how oftentimes we're a little confused because the cause and the effect is a little bit backwards, I did this one because this one is just going to get our feet wet a little bit and help us be able to find the causes with the effects. And so this way it's not backwards. We can just kind of go through it. And so remember, the cause is why something happens and the effect is what happened. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to see Allison's stomach was growling loudly. So why was her stomach growling loudly? So he studied hard? No. He forgot his math book? No. He spilled milk on the table? No. She broke a class rule? No. He fell down and scraped his knee? She scored a goal in her soccer game? She forgot to eat breakfast? She woke up late for school? Well, I would venture to say that she forgot to eat breakfast, which is why her stomach was growling loudly. Next, we have James couldn't complete his homework. So why couldn't he complete his homework? He studied hard. He forgot his math book. He spilled his milk on the table. She broke a class rule. He fell down and scraped his knee. She scored a goal in her soccer game. She woke up late for school. Well, James is a boy name, so I know it has to be one of these because it says he. And so the best one that I would suggest that makes sense is he forgot his math book. Because he forgot his math book, he cannot do his math homework. So I'll add this here. Then David received an A on his test. So back to the ones that have a he, because David is a male's name. He studied hard. He spilled milk on the table. He fell down and scraped his knee. Well, these two don't make sense for him receiving an A on his test. So studying hard, if you study hard, you probably will receive an A on your test. Teresa missed out on recess. Well, why would someone miss out on recess? She scored a goal in the soccer game. That wouldn't be a reason to miss out on recess. She woke up late for school. That technically could be a reason if she came late and recess was in the morning, but that's not the best answer. The best answer is she broke a class rule. I know when I am in class and my students break a class rule, they might miss out on a little bit of recess. And so I feel like this is the best cause for her missing out on recess. Sam had nothing to drink at lunch. Why wouldn't Sam have anything to drink at lunch? Because he spilled his milk on the table. He had milk, but then he spilled his milk on the table. So he did not have any milk. Everyone cheered loudly for Layla. So why would someone cheer loudly? Would they cheer loudly because she woke up for school late? That doesn't make any sense. She scored a goal in her soccer game. Well, typically people cheer loudly when people score in games. So that is the reason why everyone cheered loudly for Layla. Jose cried and ran to the nurse's office. Well, it's because it can't be because she woke up late for school. He fell down and scraped his knee. Chloe missed the school bus and she woke up late. It's because So remembering about cause and effect, cause is why something happened and the effect is what happened. And so I have some cards over here and effects card over here. I'm going to rearrange the effect cards to match the cause. So the rain made the roads wet and slippery. So I'm going to read until I find the effect that matches it. The ball skipped over the hole and went into the lake. Nope. She was grounded for 1 month and couldn't go to her friend's party. Nope. A car slid off the side of the road. All right. Now that we're on to something there because A car slid off the side of the road is what happened, and what caused it to happen was the rain made the road slippery and wet. Now, the next one, the girl left the water running in the bathtub. The ball skipped over the hole and went into the lake. No. She was grounded for 1 month and couldn't go to her friend's birthday party. No. A police officer gave him a ticket. No. Water overflowed onto the floor and soaked the rugs. Now that makes the most sense. So what happened was the water overflowed onto the floor and soaked the rugs. And the reason why was because the girl left the water running in the bathtub. The golfer sneezed as he hit the ball. The ball skipped over the hole and went into the lake. Yes, so that stays there because that goes. My dad was running late for work, so he sped on the freeway. She was grounded for 1 month and couldn't go to her friend's birthday party. No. A police officer gave him a ticket. Now, what happened was the police officer gave him a ticket because my dad was running late for work, and so he sped on the freeway. Now, the next one, the child did not listen to her parents when they asked her to stay home. She was grounded for 1 month and couldn't go to her friend's birthday party. So what happened was she was grounded for 1 month and couldn't go to her friend's birthday party because she did not listen to her parents when they asked her to stay home. Now we're going to read a passage and do some cause and effect like that. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to find cause and effect using a cause and effect anchor chart in a passage, because we've been able to easily identify cause and effect while matching up, but oftentimes that's not how you're asked to find cause and effect. It's in a reading passage. So, late to school, cause and effect. Directions: read the story, then fill in the chart of causes and effects. Alisa awoke for school at what seemed like an unusually late time. She glanced at the clock to see 7:45. She should have been up 45 minutes earlier and had missed her bus. Darting downstairs, she saw that her mom had already left for work. Hurrying back upstairs, she skipped her slow getting ready routine in hopes of catching a ride with her neighbor. She didn't want to be late to school because there was only 19 days left and she had had perfect attendance the entire year. Hurrying back downstairs, she picked up the phone and dialed her neighbor's number. The phone rang, but there was no answer. She exited the door, stepping out onto the front porch, just in time to see the taillights of her neighbor's familiar red car drive off into the distance. Sighing, she sank to the porch, unsure of what to do. After giving a little more thought, she hurried back inside, phoned her mom's nearby office, explained the situation, and then waited for her mom to return home. Less than happy, her mom pulled up in the driveway 5 minutes later. Due to the time constraints, her own need to be back at work for an important meeting, Elisa's mother drove rather fast, but they arrived safely at ABC Middle School with enough time left for Lisa to make it to her homeroom without being tardy. So we've read the passage, and now we have the cause and effect. So we see that she missed her bus, and we need to figure out why she missed her bus. We see that she skipped her slow getting ready routine. Well, what happened that caused her to skip her slow getting ready routine? She saw her neighbor's car drive off. What happened that caused her to see her neighbor's car drive off? Then Elisa's mother returned home for work. Well, why did she return home for work? Then Elisa's mother drove rather fast. Why did she drive rather fast? Elise made it to homeroom without being tardy. And why did she make it to homeroom without being tardy? We have our answers here. And it says she missed the bus. That was the information she gave us. And we wanted to know why she missed the bus. It was because she overslept. Then the information that they gave us here, she skipped her slow getting ready routine. The reason why she skipped her slow getting ready routine is because she was trying to catch a ride with her neighbor. And so she was trying to catch a ride with her neighbor. That's the reason why she skipped her getting ready slow routine. Then they told us that she saw her neighbor's car drive off. So she grew frustrated. And so she grew frustrated because she saw her neighbor's car drive off. The other information that they gave us, Elisa's mother returned home from work. And she did that because Elisa had no other way to get to school, because by this time she had missed the bus. She had tried to catch a ride with her neighbors, but her neighbors had already left. And so her mom needed to take her to school. Then they gave us the effect. Elisa's mother drove rather fast. Well, why did she drive fast? Because she had to get back to work for an important meeting. And then lastly, they gave us the effect. Elisa made it to her room without being tardy. And why did she make it? Because her mom picked her up and drove quickly to reach their destination. And so this way, I've showed you how to find cause and effect in a reading passage, because typically this is how you're going to have to find cause and effect. Lastly, I am going to close with cause and effect. Cause is why something happens. Effect is what happens as a result. And then we have some signal words as a result. So, because, therefore, consequently, due to, which cause. And signal words are just some clues to let you know what you're looking for. And so if you see these words, a lot of times there is a cause and effect in the passage. I hope you have enjoyed this cause and effect lesson, and I hope you have learned something.